Welcome to The Explainer. So today, we're diving into a fascinating, and honestly much needed, shift in how we actually end our work weeks. We're exploring this really cool concept called the Friday Reset. It's all about moving out of that exhausting, frantic work state and stepping directly into an awakened flow state. I mean, if you've ever felt completely drained by Friday afternoon, only to spend your entire weekend just recovering on the couch, well, this explainer is going to completely change how you view your weekend kickoff.
Just think about this for a second. What if your weekend began with absolute clarity instead of total exhaustion? It's a pretty powerful thought, right? So many professionals, whether you're in law, finance, the creative industries, you name it, find themselves trapped in this really exhausting cycle. We push through these massive hours and intense mental overload, and by the time Friday rolls around, we are literally desperate for a release. But here's the catch. The traditional ways we seek that release usually end up leaving us way more depleted than we were to begin with.
Let's start with Section 1, the modern work loop, and that gray exhaustion we all get from screen fatigue.
All week long, our bodies carry this immense stress, sleep debt, and just a massive nervous system overload. And to escape it, we almost always fall into this old, familiar pattern, numbing the pressure with alcohol and late nights. But that creates a huge trap. You end up with a weekend-fatigued Saturday, terrible sleep, and then you start your Monday heavily dependent on coffee and energy drinks just to survive the hangover and get through the week. But what if instead of numbing our overloaded systems, we opted for a new pattern? What if we went for functional hydration instead? What if Friday actually became about systemic recalibration, presence, and natural vitality?
Moving on to Section 2, a new Friday ritual. Introducing the Oasis Office.
The source material lays out this highly unique transition ritual called the Oasis Office Mocktail Hour. It's perfectly designed to help you recharge and unwind. Just picture stepping into this warm Amsterdam evening atmosphere. Glowing bar lights, natural wood, lush green plants everywhere. The concept focuses on alcohol-free drinks inspired by rum, whiskey, and piña coladas, but they're completely reimagined. We're talking fresh tropical fruit, living ingredients, perfectly crushed ice, herbs, and minerals. It's designed as a luxury tropical ice oasis that feels healthy, but also sophisticated and incredibly vibrant.
The really crucial point to take away here is that this is the Friday drink upgraded. This is a mature, super stylish transition out of a high-pressure work week. It doesn't feel childish, and it definitely doesn't feel like you're just sipping on simple fruit juice. It's all about clarity, real connection, and tropical flow. The sources highlight a specific real-world gathering that happens every single Friday evening at Alchemist Garden on Overtoom 409 in Amsterdam, and it beautifully showcases this clean, uplifting urban wellness movement.
The core philosophy behind all this is quite literally to step out of the work state and into the flow state. It acts as a conscious bridge. You aren't just physically leaving your office, you are actively shedding the intense mental output of your entire week. You're allowing all that complexity to dissolve, not through intoxication, but through awareness, presence, and deep, true nourishment.
All right, Section 3, the Ice Oasis Experience, building a tropical urban sanctuary.
To really understand why this specific kind of environment works so well, we have to talk about systemic recalibration. You see, when we finish work on Friday, our nervous systems are still running totally frantic. And instead of pouring a depressant, like alcohol, over that overloaded system to force it to shut down, systemic recalibration uses functional hydration and living food to gently soften the nervous system. It naturally aligns your body with the relaxed, easy frequency of the weekend.
And this involves some seriously luxury living ingredients. We're talking pineapple, passion fruit, fresh basil and mint, edible flowers, hibiscus, and ginger, all served over beautifully crushed ice with golden straws. These aren't just simple flavorings, they are raw, plant-based nourishment. Engaging with these colorful, high-end ingredients instantly signals to your brain that you are experiencing a premium, festive reward after a long week. It absolutely proves that an alcohol-free experience can be visually, nutritionally, and culturally vastly superior to hitting a standard dive bar.
This breakdown perfectly illustrates what we mean by upgraded. Let's say you're craving a classic rum punch or a whiskey sour. The Oasis style provides insanely complex alternatives. You might get this deep red tropical drink infused with hibiscus, or a golden amber mocktail topped with citrus foam and adaptogens served in a heavy crystal tumbler. Even a piña colada becomes this creamy oasis loaded with living minerals. You get all the style, the gorgeous coupe and tiki glassware, the condensation on the glass, the whole sophisticated evening out vibe, just completely without the ethanol. Sober, but sexy.
Which brings us to Section 4, intelligent,
functional elixirs, actively supporting body and spirit.
Because honestly, we are definitely not just talking about fruit juice here. These mocktails utilize high-end botanical spirits sourced from experts like World of Nicks. The lineup features active mood boosters, like the 3-Spirit Social Elixir, alongside Sapunka organic root elixirs and premium botanical dry alternatives. These are never presented as being less than alcohol. Actually, scratch that. They're better. They are adaptogenic elixirs designed to actively support your body and spirit, giving you these complex, aromatic, deep flavor profiles that elevate the entire drinking experience.
Section 5. Conscious connection and community. Socializing without intoxication.
There's this absolutely vital realization for modern professionals right now. Connection does not need intoxication, and relaxation does not need escape. You can network, you can laugh, and you can enjoy a vibrant, warm Friday atmosphere in a stylish group setting completely without alcohol. The future of our social lives can be clear, conscious, and alive. It can be driven by meaningful conversations rather than just shouting over loud music in a crowded, messy room. And finally, Section 6, Stepping into Flow State, the journey of recalibration.
This whole transformation essentially happens in 3 distinct steps. First up, you shed the mental output. Putting away those screens and stepping into a living urban sanctuary naturally begins a digital detox. Second, you receive that functional hydration and raw food nourishment we talked about, which replenishes your body with minerals instead of depleting it with toxins. And finally, step 3, you align with the weekend frequency. Your nervous system experiences a soft, gentle landing into true presence, allowing your inner life and spiritual well-being to really flourish.
Which leaves us with one final, pretty provocative question to think about. Will your next Friday be a moment of intoxication, or will it be a moment of recalibration? You know, we really don't have to wait for burnout or total emotional exhaustion before we choose a healthier path. By swapping our old habits for intelligent elixirs, real connection, and tropical flow, a clear, vibrant, and fully awakened weekend is entirely possible. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer. I hope this inspires you to upgrade your Friday.